Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Bluff City. This is episode number 23, and in this episode, we're going to be working on this apartment complex and parking garage. I know it's been a long time since I've actually recorded an episode, but I've been super busy, and I haven't actually had time to play the game in a lot of months. This area of Bluff City is more like a staging area for different assets that don't really fit into the main part of the city. So we've got this big suburban school and subdivision along with this huge shopping mall. I don't know if y'all actually get to see the shopping mall in this episode or not. Both of those builds I did for videos on the official City Skylines YouTube channel. If y'all haven't seen those, then check those out now. I'll leave a link for y'all in the description. So these apartment buildings, I started building back in 2017, 2018. Then pretty much everything was put on hold while I was making the University City Content Creator Pack. I pretty much had a finished version at the time, but I probably got lots of assets that are finished or pretty close to being finished that I pretty much forgotten about. So I stumbled across these buildings and I uploaded them for early access for patrons on Patreon. So somewhere along the way I wanted to create an apartment complex, and this is why I can never do regular YouTube episodes, because when I started building I noticed the LOD textures were game generated. And having that many LODs kick in at the same time and in the same area really makes things look really bad. So I had to stop playing the game and create an LOD texture and re-import them before I could even finish this build, which was probably around the next day that I ended up building again. I also wanted a leasing office for this complex, so halfway through I had to stop and create a leasing office. Fortunately, I've made a ton of assets, so I pretty much did a reskin of one of those houses I made for University City, and I was able to turn that into a pretty decent looking leasing office with minimum effort. Another set of assets that I've recently been finishing up are these suburban houses, which was a Patreon request. They were originally requested almost 2 years ago, and I really had no interest or motivation in doing houses in that style. However, it's 2 years later and I have so much more experience in making houses, and I decided to give it a try. I think they came out really well. These houses have the same two base models, so I was able to get around 6 to 8 different versions from just 2 different models. And I'm definitely planning on having a couple more, but I had to put that on pause for now because just working on the same thing over and over, it gets a little repetitive and a little boring. So you have to mix it up and try to do different things in between. So I'm not 100% satisfied with the layout of this apartment complex though. I feel like the buildings could be a lot closer together, and the paths going through the buildings are too wide and take up too much visual space. But since this is basically just a screenshot suburban area, it's not really that serious. And it's really just a build to get me back into the hang of playing the game. Right here I wanted to have an apartment sign, and I was really in no mood to make one at all. But fortunately for me, Rick 4000 had just uploaded a brick sign for a business center, which is what I'm using right here. I changed the name of the sign, of course, but the brick fits right in with the complex. What's interesting is the brick textures are all slightly different. The brick on the apartment and leasing office is by me, the sign is by Rick 4000, and the smaller fence network is by Avanya, but they all work really well together. The other taller wall or props I made a while ago and they are really much darker, but honestly that's not really a big deal. With this build, a lot of it was just placing the parking lot roads and the parking lots that come with that, which is mainly what I do when I build malls or shopping centers. It's really just a lot of parking. It's always so much parking that I think for my next project, if I ever decide to do one, will be a project with almost no parking. I'm placing a couple of trees in this playground. This was before I got frustrated with placing trees individually, and I remembered that there was a much better way of doing this. Of course, there's been a lot of new mods out since the last time I seriously played the game, so I'm trying to get familiar with those. One of the new mods that I'm trying out is Forest Brush by TPB, which really isn't new. So here's what I'm really excited about. This is a little entertainment area in the middle of the city. And originally I was using the University City parking garage, which was fine, but one day I just started working on this modern parking garage, and I didn't think it would take a long time because I was just going to use the University City garage as a template, but it ended up taking me a lot longer than I thought. It really takes a lot of planning when it comes to making parking and parking garages, but I'm so happy with how it turned out. And I believe you should be able to get this on the workshop right now. But I think it's really going to add a lot of diversity to the parking for a lot of cities. If you do use this parking garage in your cities, be sure to take a couple of screenshots and share them with me on Twitter, or tag me on Reddit or Facebook or whatever social media platform you use. I really like to see how players are using some of the different assets that I come up with. Big shout out to all of my Patreons that support me and really keep me more motivated to continue to make assets and not spend too much of my free time playing Shenmue, Civilization, and Planet Zoo. I definitely appreciate it. I would also appreciate it if y'all took the time to hit the like button on this video. I don't upload too often, so unfortunately it's harder for viewers and people that watch City Skylines content to find the video without getting a certain amount of likes. And I definitely want to thank everybody that has subscribed and is still subscribed after I haven't posted anything in 5 or 6 months. But go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see y'all next time.